Hi, James.
Hey, Figgy.
What's going on, my brother?
Brother, dude, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I love it. You just got back from Scotland?
Yeah.
Did you go see the sword of William Wallace?
You can do that?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I've never been there.
I saw the sword. I saw the coronation sword.
The sword of coronation.
Every king and queen have been coronated by this sword that was handcrafted in fucking 800 or 12, something like that. And then most recently, I guess they determined that the queen lived so fucking long that they used it for her, but it was now too braille for King Charles. So they made an entire new fucking sword, and it's cool as shit. I mean, it's a fucking giant sword. And the King of England or whatever have you, he got coordinated with it. And the crown jewels, we saw those in Edinburgh Castle when we first got there. That was cool as shit.
I guess they keep all that stuff in Scotland just to already have it smuggled out of the country in case it goes bad again.
Oh, man.
The Romanovs could have taken a page out of that picture. Should we send it to Scotland now? Let's just stick it in our man buns.
It was, we toured the castle. I rented a Tesla, so we got to drive around. We drove in a counterclockwise circle around Scotland, 1,220 miles.
Okay.
And so, all right, so let me give a backstory in case this actually turns into a story.
Sure.
I'm a horrific alcoholic that has not drank since New Year's, so it's been 9 months. I got on the plane. I took my mother.
It's now mid-September 2024.
September.
Today's the 13th?
15th. So I went to September 1st roundabouts. I took my mother to Scotland because, she wanted to go, and we went. And she's been ecstatic that I haven't had a drink in 9 months. She's absolutely fucking hated that I'm an alcoholic. I've done nothing but be a mess of an alcoholic. Anyway.
That's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast. But that's a little backstory. So we got to the airport after checking in through security, and she was completely trapped with me. I said, well, Mom, now that you are not capable of getting away from me, I'm going to have a drink.
How'd that go?
She went like this. And I said, well, the way I figured it, you're not going to like it. And you could think of this as one of two ways. You could be on a trip with your drinking buddy and you're just going to have fun and not be Mom because you're going to be goddamn disappointed. Or you can be Mom and you can be upset because I'm drinking. I'm going to Scotland. I'm going to fucking drink. I said, I haven't had a drink in 9 months. When I get back, I'm not going to have a drink. I'm just going to go right back to being what I just was.
You're on party vacation time.
I said, well, I didn't say this, but I have a very strong, weird relationship with alcohol, and I haven't said hello in a very long time. Also, Lindsay's 2-year anniversary of her passing was while we were away, and Mom wanted me to be away and keep my head clear so that I didn't do anything stupid, and I figured if I'm going to have a drinking buddy, why not be the only person on the planet that I really don't want to drink around, but I have plenty of time. So it kind of, in a fucked up way, it was my idea of keeping myself on a tether. So day one we got there, I had a couple of Guinness, and I was like, wow, that was great.
Couple of beers, yeah.
A couple of Guinness. And Guinness over there tastes way different than the Guinness here. The Guinness here is not real Guinness. Guinness in Scotland and Ireland is even better, but over there it tastes different. They manufacture the Guinness here in Baltimore, and they use a different gas chemical process.
Really?
It literally tastes different.
They don't
ship it over. It's nothing like that. They make it in Baltimore. They use different Baltimore water. That's the fucking difference. It's Baltimore water. I just figured it out. That's the difference. But
that Baltimore water will mess you up, man.
It'll give you dysentery, something. You fucking lose weight drinking it. I had a couple of Guinness. It went fine. Day two, I thought, all right, well, that went all right. I'm going to have myself a little JMO. So I ordered a double Jameson and ginger ale.
It's like you stretched the first day, and then you ran a nice little easy lap the second day.
Yeah, it was a little layup.
Yeah,
just to tie my shoes.
Yeah.
Just make sure the court's still there.
Just to, hey, everybody, wake up. Guess what?
So I had a couple Jamesons, and that turned out all right. And I, as a drinker, I lead on these trips. I like to lead myself around by my liver. And I just have a sense of who's drinking and who's having fun and where we should go. And there's always somebody having fun at a bar Where else can you just go up and talk to strangers freely in a small town in the middle of Scotland or Ireland or any fucking place that you go?
No place really.
You can't do a trip if you're not drinking. Not right, anyway. I mean, what are you just going to go to a monument and stare at it? You can't. It's not inviting to talk to fucking strangers at a monument. You know, if you're standing looking at Stonehenge, you're like, oh, what were they thinking? Oh, you wanted to be alone. Sorry. You're at a bar. They're at a fucking bar. You walk in and the first thing you do is you come in. You're like, hey, how you doing? You live around here? You must, because you're here. You're bartending. You're in charge, right? What should I do when I'm in this town? Where should I go? Who should I talk to? What do you know what I mean? Like,
talking to the concierge, yeah.
That bartender's going to know exactly where to go. He's going to say, go to that hotel, talk to Sue, because Sue's going to let you in the back door, and they're going to tell you about the thing. Like, the fucking deal's the thing you need to do.
But it's like having a tour guide.
Yeah, so, yeah, your liver is your tour guide.
That's why I love the hospitality business, man. I mean, with hospitality, you're taking care of people, you're shepherding them, you're getting to meet people you never met before, and maybe you give them the right directions, maybe you give them the wrong directions.
8 years ago, I took Mom and my sister to Ireland. We flew over with no plan except a rented car. We drove outside of Dublin. It was the first time I ever drove on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car.
You guys are part gypsies, right?
I'm part everything, I think. We drove, anyway.
Romani. You're my Romanis.
I drove outside of Dublin 20 minutes. 20 fucking minutes, and I was on the wrong side of the road. I was driving on the wrong side of the car. I was driving a stick shift. I wanted to have the experience. The fucking hedges in Dublin, now I'm talking 8 years ago, are 8 feet tall. It's one-lane roads. They all know what they're doing. They're flying. I'm doing 40. They're doing 60 coming at me. Cutaways where you have to back the fucking car up to go back into the little cutaway to let them through. It's bullshit. My heart was racing. I was pounding. I pulled over to the first goddamn pub outside of Dublin. 20 minutes. If anyone knows, it's like that one. And I pulled right in. And I said, I need a fucking shot and keep them coming. Give me some JMO. Give me a beer back. I found out that they got different rules with alcohol. You can have one drink only. I said, we're in fucking Ireland. Oh, what's that mean? Nothing. I'll have one drink, please.
What does that mean?
You're not a bunch of alcoholics. Like, that's why I came to the motherland, because I fucking wanted to drink like you motherfuckers. Now, this is still 8 years ago. I had a few drinks. I got back in that car, and I knew what I was doing all of a sudden. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I was shifting gears going. I didn't have a fucking problem. So, and back 8 years ago when we went to Ireland, we would pull into a small town. I'd go up to a bar at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'd order a drink. I'd order dinner. I'd talk to everybody sitting near me, and I'd say, anybody know where I could stay? Anybody know where I should go? A hotel? And literally within 5 minutes or 2 minutes, somebody would say, oh, my uncle has a bed and breakfast around the corner. And they would call them, set it up. Somebody would come around the corner, say, hey, do you have bags? I'll take them up to the room for, like, it was this hospitality in Ireland was unlike any place I've ever been in this fucking world. Unfucking real. Everywhere I went, I didn't have to worry about a thing at all. I just got a room. I got my mom set up. I got my sister set up. And I got drunk, and it was wonderful. That was Ireland. So I was like, all right, the Scottish people can't be that fucking different, right? Wrong. Every town I went into, I went up to a hotel or a bed or something. I walked in there. I was like, do you have a room? And they were like, oh, no, sorry.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, do you have any recommendations? Do you have any cousins? Or like, they're like, what? Like, they don't know everybody. In Ireland, every fucking buddy in every town knew everybody, and they could all fucking talk to each other. And it was like a network of fire ants, and all of a sudden you were put where you needed to be. In fucking Scotland, they were like, no,
fairies.
We're fucking independent people here. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. Fuck off. You know, if you don't have a place in Scotland, you know, this is the tourist season. What do you know? I kept asking him. I said, do you like the dollars coming in and all the money coming into your little towns, or do you hate the fact that tourists are overrunning your little small town? And they went, yes.
Sure.
To both. They were like, yeah, to both. We don't fucking we can't. Every bar I went into, brother, I swear to Christ, you said there was reserved signs everywhere, and it was just reserved for locals. That's it, reserved for locals. They kept, and because I guess I know my way around a bar, I kept accidentally sitting next to the local section because there was always an old fucking Scot there that was half drunk, lit, and the best conversation I had in a while. But you know, between the bartender and the drunks at the everywhere I went, we figured it out, and it was great. But nobody fucking helped me with a room to stay, and that was harrowing when you're with your mother. So I relied on my sister back here 5 hours behind me to get on the internet. I was like, Jill, I need you to get on the internet, please, and help me, because hotels.com or whatever, the internet, they will let you book a room wherever the fuck. You just type in the goddamn ones and zeros and blah, 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 a fucking QR code, and bam, you get to have a room to stay. I went into this one fucking place. Listen to this, dude. I went into this one fucking place. I said, I need a room to stay. I need a room, please, with me and my mother. They said, we're completely booked. I'm sorry, we can't help. Except in their accent, of course. And I was like, thanks. Went out, sat in the car, called Jill. 5 minutes later, she sent me the fucking booking for the hotel I was sitting in front of. I went in, I was like, you had no rooms, did you? What's this?
You had no rooms, did you?
You had no rooms.
Did you fail your O levels?
You fucking stupid Americans showing up wanting the room last minute. Fuck off. Well, fuck you. I guess the internet wins. So we went in, got a room, go right to the bar. Everything was copacetic. Where am I?
Copacetic.
We were... So my drinking, well, I'm an alcoholic, so my drinking was appropriate the first 4 days, and then it immediately got bad. It went bad. It got bad. It got to the point where at the end of the trip, the last 3 days, I was sitting in front of the liquor store at 10 a.m. waiting for them to open so I could buy a fifth of vodka. I was pouring the vodka into a bottle of orange juice just like it was 10 months ago and drinking the fucking I was drinking liquor by the fifth.
Getting the vitamin A with your vitamin D.
And Jesus Christ, instead of fucking going to the bar, I was going to the bar every fucking hour for 3 doubles. I was like, oh, here's another bar. My mom was like, the last 3 days, and only the last 3 days out of 12, she was like, Jesus fucking Christ, he's going to kill us. He's going to fucking kill us. Meanwhile, my body metabolizes ethanol so fucking fast, and it got caught up in a week that I was literally pounding fifths of vodka, and I was just like, I'm talking to you right now. My mom's like, when you get home, you're not going to go to work. You're going to be fucking in bed for a week. And I was like, I doubt that. I really doubt that.
Yeah,
I'll be
you've
fine.
been back for a day.
I'll be fine. I'll be honestly, like, I've been drinking like crazy, Mom, for 3 days. The last time you saw me like go to the hospital was I was drinking like that for 3 months. I said, trust me, I'm going to be fine. She goes, you don't know that. I said, well, there's only one guy in here, and it's me. So I thought I had a little leg up on her, maybe on knowing how I was going to be, So I admit that I put her through hell the last 3 days with my drinking, but that's how I imagined it going, and it's exactly what happened. We did go to this one fucking bar. We pulled in, and it was awesome. The fucking owner was sitting at the counter, and he just looked like an owner, and he started talking about how his wife was the person running around, the manager. Both his daughters were behind the bar. The one daughter's husband was the guy cooking. Like he was drunk. He was happy, as full of life. He was basically hitting on my mom while telling her how much he loved his wife while his wife was right where you are. And I was laughing, and I was like, and at one point I leaned over, I was like, hey buddy, you are happily married, right, dude? Like my mom's safe, right? She was laughing. They'll
do anything for American visa.
He gave us, we said, what should we do? And he said, well, down at the docks, the old converted fucking fishery turned into a bar, check, is playing live music, check. It's for a benefit for some kid that got hurt somehow. I wasn't paying attention to that part, check. My money goes someplace positive, check. There's going to be local music, and locals are pretty much down there, and there's no tourists, check, check, and check, let's go. Mom, we don't have time to check into the hotel because my liver is telling me we have to go there right now. We're leaving the bar. We're in a bar where I am pounding at this. This is like somewhere in the middle before it became a problem, and after, like, this is when, anyway, I was just drinking and drinking and drinking.
This is when you're on the vault on your way up.
I was sprinting down the concourse with the giant pole vault stick, and I was just about to stick it in the fucking ground, in the metaphor of my drinking. And then I went, and then I came up over the top, and then my dick hit the fucking bar, and I fucking fell on my face.
Really?
In that metaphor, yes.
So that bartender was like, all right,
well, they don't tip over there, and I was leaving tips, American tips, because I was
mad
having an
at
extra.
it?
No, they weren't fucking mad. They were like, thanks, American. I was like, you're welcome, Scott. So I told Mom, I said, we just left one bar where the owner's a boss, and he's telling me where to go down here to have a fucking another drink, and I'm going to go down there right now. She goes, we go separate. Let's go check in the hotel. We haven't been to the hotel yet. We have to check into the hotel. We haven't got our keys. We don't know where we're going. Let's go check in the hotel. I was like, that's a really fucking sound idea.
Listen to your mom making sense.
I said, that's a really sound idea. I said, we can't do that. My liver needs more alcohol immediately. Like, we're at the pole vault stick. I'm sticking it. That was actually the night. And I went down there.
Plant your flag.
Fucking A. I planted something, I tell you. I tried to plant something. It's not easy in front of your mother, but I tried. We got down there and went in, and it was a fucking guy with one of those boards over his chest. He was like, another guy with a guitar, another guy with fucking bagpipes. Like, I was like, this is legitimately the most authentic Scottish thing you could ask for. It's all for a benefit. It's packed. I look over. I took videos and pictures. I'll show you. It was like me being there with my buddy. And this guy was on his shoulders, and they were jumping up and down. Their girls were like this close to taking their fucking tops off. Everybody was having a good fucking rip-roaring time. We were getting drunk. And I was buying shots. Mom was talking to some old guy who was buying her drinks. I was just fucking hanging out at the bar. Like, I gave her a 20. I was like, put this in your pocket. This has nothing to do with the tip that you're going to get when we're done or the bill. She goes, what? I was like, don't go too far. I need a lot of these. She goes, understood. All right. So,
see, money is the universal language.
Fucking A, it is.
And respect is currency.
I bought a lot of respect that night. She fucking was right on me, man. And I drank, I don't know, like a normal 10 or 12 doubles on top of the bar before, on top of drinking all day. Again, pole vault moment. Had the best time. I'll show you the videos. Best fucking time. Then it was winding down. It was probably 11 or 12 or something like that. We still haven't been to and like, this is in a hotel, which I wasn't thinking because my liver was in charge. So I didn't realize, I also didn't care. So we got back to the bed and breakfast. It was a hotel, but bed and breakfast. There was no breast that night.
There was none.
We got back, and there was no reception. There's no one in the building. No one. My mom started having one of those. Oh my god, you're drinking. Did it again? I was like, what the fuck? What
you're drinking? Did it again? Oh, there it came out. The latent.
Oh, it was coming.
Judgment.
It was fucking coming. I said, what's the problem? Hang on. I walked up to the fucking counter as if you were right there to meet somebody, and there was an envelope that said Knies. I said, it sounds like some keys. Let's go. Oh, Wilbur. Wilbur. You got any peanut butter from my apples?
We're the only people that ever came to this desk when people left early, and they never had to come back.
Do you think they left at 9 o'clock? We got there at midnight. I got the fucking keys. We went to the room, got in, opened the door, and I went, there, Mom, problem solved. Go to bed. Thank you.
Should have given her some haggis for breakfast.
She did. We had full Scottish every day, basically.
Yeah, the blood sausage.
Yeah. It's not for me, but I had it.
Nah.
I will forevermore eat beans for breakfast.
Oh, I love white kidney beans, fava beans. You know what my thing is? Beans with cheesesteak meat. Sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't.
Because you just throw it in the frozen blocks of cheesesteak meat and like your stupid little Instant Pot with a little bit of veggie stock or beef stock. 40 minutes later, your beans go from a dry state to perfectly creamy on the inside, firm on the outside, but they've been inculcated with cheesesteak fat. And then you just get a little bit of rice.
Fuck you, dude.
I got some, man. I made it. Rice and cheese. You never had cheesesteak, rice and beans? That's a real
not
Cuban Italian.
Not the way this Cuban's going to make it. Jesus Christ.
A lot of cilantro.
Fuck me, dude. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day, in that same hotel, we had probably the best breakfast and conversation with the little hostess girl. Like, I had her going. She was so fucking cute. Like, fuck my life. She was so cute, and I had her going. And I was like, what do you, just basic. I was spitting game the whole goddamn time. What can you do with your mom right there? And I wasn't going to really pursue any of it unless it fell in my lap. But I still flirted with every pretty girl I could. This chick told me, she was like, well, ironically, my boyfriend's name is James, and ironically, he's in Miami right now. And I went, zip code rule is a thing. Country rule is a bigger thing.
It's a much
bigger thing. There's a whole body of water between us, not just numbers.
I mean, if you're in a relationship and you go overseas without your SO, I mean...
actually, now that I think about it,
I'm not making this up.
No, I'm not making this up. That was at least two different chicks told me that. Anyway, what the fuck else happened? There was one incident, so I'm gonna have to go out of order because I wasn't prepared and I'm hungry. But my mom, we went to another bar, And we were having a pretty nice time and went next door and got a room, and everything was fine. The next day we went to pull out. Mom goes, I don't have my purse. And I was like, oh, well, all right, let me go downstairs and they'll open the bar. There was no purse. And I didn't worry because I just said, well, we stopped 15 times yesterday. This is at 8 o'clock, not 9 o'clock in the morning, and I text my sister and I said, hey, I'm too stupid to use my own phone and credit card information. Can you send me screenshots of every place I used my credit card yesterday? And it was freaking 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're like, money, this is James Bond to Moneypenny. Come in, Moneypenny. Moneypenny, come in. We need
funny.
Activate.
That's funny.
Activate
Yeah.
a golden key.
I needed the golden gun. She sent me the fucking screenshots, and I just started, and then I Googled the place, and I called them, and half of the places answered, and they said, oh, sorry, there's no purse. The other half didn't answer because they were restaurants that don't open until 10 o'clock.
Sure.
So what also opens at 10 o'clock are liquor stores. So I was already posted in front of the liquor store, and I was like, oh, I'm going to start shaking pretty fucking bad and puking if I don't have a bottle soon, because pole vault moment. So I got the bottle at the same time that she got a hold of a restaurant, and we had to backtrack 2.5 hours back up the fucking country, up the windy roads.
We found it.
We went back to the restaurant that we were earlier the previous day.
The cute chick still there?
Different set of people. So we went in, and I was like, well, Mom, we're here. I mean,
non-playable characters.
We're at the bar. Let's have a drink and another meal. So we had 2 meals there. And she was so thrilled that she get to have it back, of course. We left and came, we spent the whole day just trying to make up time, and we got back down to where we were going. Went to the one place, got a room, went out to the peninsula, saw everything, came back around, spent the entire day doing that, came back around, didn't plan again. We didn't plan for a place any single night, and Jill helped us every single night. And then we got to the one place, and Jill was like, there's literally nothing. There's nothing anywhere. You're like, it's too late for you to drive at night. I don't know what to tell you. I said, well, then let my liver be my guide, Jiminy Cricket. Went into the bar and started talking, and I just used this. My voice was loud. I projected. I was talking to the bartender. I made sure everyone in the building in earshot knew that I and my mother had no place to sleep tonight. And this
working in a shop will build your voice up.
Cute fucking girl comes over that works there, and she was having a drink, and she was like, listen, I work here. I'm off today. Like, I was just here having a drink. Like, I can't let your mom sleep in the car. And I was like, what do you suggest? And she's like, well, I have a room right up the road that you can have. And I was like, really? What would we do with Mom? Like, just that's what she did. That's what she did. And we went, and she laughed, and she turned actually pink. I'm stoned. I smoked on the way over here. Right. So I'm not doing the stories justice, because I'm a better storyteller drunk than I am stoned. But I fucking had this chick literally pink because I was lit, and I was like trying so fucking hard. She takes us to the place. As an employee of the hotel, she was given like one of the offshoot places, like a cabin, like a very meager cabin to live in. Like, there's all over the place. So I guess it's part of being there, because she lives in Glasgow and goes up there for the season.
Glasgow.
Or something. So we had to go in. It wasn't made up. They weren't planning on anyone staying there. So Mom and I went in there. We helped make the bed with her, change the sheets, change the towels, like actually make it up, because it's her place. She had to get her personal effects and things out. We were like, where are you going to stay? She's like, my parents live across the street. I'm just going to go sleep in my old bedroom. And we were like, Jesus. And then I said something along the lines of, listen, you and I can still stay here. We can give Mom the car, and then it's like we both have our own room. And God, she laughed at that one, and she pulled the door shut. She was like, I could see her going, "This is you fucking like," and she pulled the door shut and left, and problem solved. And I said to her, she was leaving. I said, "Who do we pay? Like, who should we pay? Like, who owns the place?" And she was like, "Don't worry about it. Like, just don't worry about it. This is my place. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Well, listen."
She's like, "Just keep it moving."
Yeah,
like the sheriff in Rambo.
Just get out of the sheriff is coming.
I'm not allowed in Morristown, New Jersey anymore either.
The sheriff is near. I asked her who's going to be in the room to make, like, who'll be the first person in this room tomorrow, and she said me. I said, all right, well, then there's going to be some cash on the table, and I appreciate you. And she goes, you don't have to do that. I said, yeah, I do. I can, so I will. I have to. So I left her $300 bucks.
Ooh.
I gave her $300 U.S. dollars, which is probably like $230, $220 them.
Good chunk.
It's not bad.
Mm-mm.
So she had to wash 2 towels, change the sheets, and she could put that in her pocket. Get down to the Royal Bank of Scotland and change it over to pounds. So that was another thing that happened. I drove down the wrong side of the road once, but it was in the turnaround of McDonald's. So I was going 10 miles an hour, and the other guy coming at me was like, so I...
Did he say, it's my drive-through?
So I was like, fuck, I think I got to go the other way. So
Teslas, huh?
Oh, my God. It was the Tesla superchargers are super easy. When you pull in, you plug it in, good to go. If Tesla, it's great. But Scotland has 5. And then when you get out in the middle of nowhere, there aren't any. And they're all destination chargers. So you have to go to the chargingpointscotland.org. And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I had to figure, I'm not good at technology. I don't know how things work. I had to create a fucking, I had to make an account to use the goddamn thing. It was just complicated, man. It just really was fucking complicated because I'm an idiot. I mean, I can do it now in 5 minutes, but I'm not, technology is not intuitive to me. I don't know what to click the buttons and how to do things yet. So anyway, I got through it. We were one place with like 15% battery, so it was like not empty, but I wasn't getting to another charger and I couldn't make it work. And I was down in a valley with no service, so I couldn't call customer service on my phone. So I had to walk up to the top of the fucking bridge to make a phone call. It was a nightmare. Finally made it work as I went over and talked to the other guy that was charging.
You had to get on top of the bridge?
I had to go talk to the other guy that was charging.
Right.
And I said, hey, do you know how this works? Can you help me? Oh, my back. Can you help me? And he was like, yeah, sure. He was nice. And, well, I got home. We flew home. I drank through the airport. I drank when we got back to... I drank when we got... That's the... there you go. When we got to Philly, there's a bar right at when you get through... you get through fucking the airport, and there's one right there. So that was my last drink on Thursday night. And you all right?
Yeah. I was like, there's no sound coming on because I had completely the wrong headphones on.
I'll do it. Anyway, I got up Friday morning after drinking like that, like a fish, thinking that I was going to feel like shit. Dude, I went to the Hack, Hokesson Athletic Club. Right. I got in the hot tub for a while. I got in the cold plunge. I got in the steam room. I worked out. I sweated and sweated and sweated. I was taking all the dehydration stuff. When I got off the airplane and weighed myself, when I got home, I was 182. It's the lowest I've ever weighed. Within 48 hours, so like yesterday morning.
You got reconstituted?
I'm like almost 190. I put on
$190?
6 or 8 pounds of water. That's how much I was drinking and dehydrated.
Do you still need dehydration situation? Because I know a place right over here where they give you injections of saline right into your veins.
I would need that, but at some point, but not.
It's like $100.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, that's a good back pocket. Yeah, Emily Green's got a nice little spot over there.
Well,
I think I dialed in this head frame. Does this shot look all right?
Yeah.
I look terrible. I got to shave, get a haircut.
That's good.
I look like the chick from Poltergeist. Right at the end.
Look like that fucking X-Men, the girl that steals everybody's power.
Yeah.
It was... Oh, and then yesterday... All right, so that was my trip. Like, drinking escapades, I'm leaving out a lot, but I also am hungry, so we'll get going.
Yeah, we can book. Hey, we've already put an hour in right now. We're right at 59. You want to call it or keep rolling?
I'll just tell you that anyway, my buddy and I went to the beach yesterday because I really wanted to hit reset on my brain, because I can't be going around in the drinking mindset.
No,
I have to go back to who I was for the last 9 months. So I went to the beach with my buddy, and I ate not a heroic dose of mushrooms, but more than a microdose. Definitely way more than that. I laughed maniacally.
Oh, what time of day was it?
I got to the beach at 3
in the afternoon.
Yeah, ate them. They probably started kicking in around
3:40.
3:30 or 4:35.
Okay.
That's when, like, at 4:30, I started the yawning phase. At 5:30 5:30, I was in the laughing maniacally and thinking that everything is
The
great
giggles.
and beautiful. Yeah.
That's a joyful mystery.
By like 7 and the sun was going down, I was making shadow puppets with my buddy, and he was the wolf and I was the goose, and we were just still laughing. The sun came down. I had to lug my fucking chair.
Keep
and
your wolf and goose out of Ohio.
I don't know what that means. I had to wolf.
Oh, you've been in Scotland the last 10 days. You wouldn't know, huh?
No.
I'll skip it. You'll figure it out later.
All right. So I had to carry my chair. I have no motor function on mushrooms. So I couldn't fold the chair. I couldn't fold the towel. I couldn't hold both. I was trying, and Mark had to help me. He went with me for the reason, because I told him what I was going to do.
Try working a cash register.
Oh my God. He ate a little bit. I ate a lot of it. And I went back to the car, and he was like, I'm going to get some candy. And I was like, all right. And I put on Dark Side of the Moon and was just grooving to that in the car, sitting in the passenger side. So I couldn't get on a DUI because, I was in the parking spot, but I was in the passenger side. And then Mark came back with the candy. Dude, I made a mistake. I had a piece of the candy, and I was like, I don't eat sugar. I've just lost 65 pounds in the last year because I haven't eaten sugar. I've had a great diet.
No soda.
I had no sugar. I then ate on mushrooms this candy that he got. And I was like, oh, my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I ate the entire fucking bag. Mm-hmm. Then he went and got a milkshake. I drank the whole milkshake, way more sugar, loaded sugar.
What flavor?
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Dude, by the time
Whipped cream?
By the time I was halfway through the sugar, my body, the insulin dump that I got, it must have negated the mushroom trip entirely, because my brain was absolutely 100% devoid of serotonin in every way possible. I've never been that depressed just last night.
Really?
Or the night before. When did I go to the beach? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Last night.
Wow.
Not last night, the night before. I'd never been more depressed in my life. I felt like I wanted to jump in front of a truck, and I just kept telling myself, you're on drugs. This isn't real. You're on drugs.
Right.
And I've also done mushrooms before. I expected it. I knew it was coming, but I never ate that much sugar.
I wonder what that is. What is that little bad line of programming in there?
I think it's the yin and yang in the universe, because we're laughing so giddy, so happy about what the universe is shining love. I even said to Mark, I said, it feels like my brain is wide open and God is massaging my brain and telling me he loves me. And then the flip side of the coin is death. And I literally felt like absolute death, like death was staring me in the face, like I was being marched to my own the execution to tomorrow. I felt I felt the embodiment of death, everything that was wrong in the world. I wanted to sob and cry, and it was horrific. I looked at my buddy and I said, I am not doing well. He's like, what can I do? And I was like, I got to walk. You got to come with me. I got to walk. I got to exercise to get my blood moving, to move some serotonin. It's the only thing I can think of. So I'm in Rehoboth still. So I start walking, and we start just walking. And it was probably 10 o'clock, 10:30 when I was like, all right, we can start heading up the road. And my buddy drove, and I put the seat back, and we put on music, and I went into a meditative state. By the time we got up the road at 12 o'clock, he pulled into his driveway. I was probably 95% normal. It came back, but then the euphoria started.
Car ride in Rehoboth will do that. They have good radio down there.
The euphoria started coming. I went home, went to sleep, slept all right. Yesterday, I woke up. That's right, because Friday I went to the beach. So yesterday I woke up. I felt great. I felt completely no ego, just easy going. Life is going to be all right. Everything's going to work out. Today I feel the same way.
Good. Leave that window open.
I feel like everything's going to work out. Everything's beautiful.
It is.
It's really great feeling that I just had a great trip with Mom. I enjoyed her. I mean, I put her through hell for 3 days, but I got a really nice 8 days out of the trip, and she did too.
You didn't put her through hell. I heard she raised your life insurance policy.
It's all right. It was all right. It was all right. It was awesome. It's awesome, and I'm in a good place, really good place right now. So let's go eat.
All right. This has been Fig Factor here with guest number 1, James Kneis, and we had a good time. James, any last thoughts?
I appreciate you having me on and letting me be the number 1 guy to do it, and I hope that I don't come across as a complete idiot.
Now, I'll idiot proof this thing. I'll talk to you later, you guys. Thanks.
All right.
Fig out.